Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Eric Garcia. Decision time for the Barca defender as he struggles over regular minutes. Of course, we are going to be discussing about his next move. Then, secondly, talking about Ace Abde, who is currently on loan at Osasuna. As it has been reported that Barca will decide on the future of the loanee after pre-season in the summer. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you are just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcomed. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. It has been difficult season for Eric Garcia at Barca. While the former Manchester City defender started the campaign as a regular in the first few weeks, things have gotten hard for the 22-year-old since the World Cup break. Indeed, Garcia missed a few matches just before the World Cup and did not play even once for Spain during the tournament. Since returning from Qatar, the Spaniard has struggled for relevance in Xavi's side. And according to Sport, Garcia will need to take a decision on his future in the summer as to whether he will continue playing a big part role at Barca or leave in search of game time elsewhere. To put things into context, Garcia has played just 557 minutes of the 1,530 minutes that Barca have played in 2023 across all competitions. The retirement of Gerard Piqué ideally should have opened up a pathway for the Spaniard to get some game time. However, that is not how things have panned out as Marcos Alonso have been preferred over him by the manager. The former Chelsea man provides a left-footed option for Barca at the heart of the defense, something that is so valued by Xavi. That coupled with Garcia's own inconsistencies have led to him reaching a juncture where he needs to take a big decision. Either the 22-year-old will have to continue in the current role, which is far from ideal for a player of his age, or seek regular game time elsewhere. Barcelona, for their part, are not considering selling Garcia unless the player himself asks for an exit. Given that his contract runs until 2026, they could fetch a decent sum for his services into summer in the scenario that the Spaniard does ask for a departure. So Eric Garcia, of course, has had a very terrible season, and I don't think anybody can blame Xavi for putting him on the bench throughout because even the little time or the opportunity that Eric Garcia have to play, I don't see nothing that he brings to that pitch. I don't see anything. I think he's more prone to mistakes. Eric Garcia is so prone to mistakes, and physically he's not really that interrogating as a center half or as a center back. And to be honest, talking about him having regular game time at a club like Barca, I don't think Eric Garcia deserves to. Honestly, I don't think. So definitely there are reports now coming out that the guy is not really happy about the situation. We quite remember when the season started, Garcia was playing more regular under Xavi than right now after the World Cup. And you can see that even in the Spanish national team, Luis Enrique was not putting him at all in the World Cup. Eric Garcia is not the best of defenders out there. And I don't think we can be taking the risk to satisfy some of these players, putting them there, because honestly speaking, Eric Garcia does not defend well as a Barca player. I don't know if his level is far below a Barca team. Because anytime that guy have entered the pitch to play matches, we always concede. But when we see Koundé and Araujo pairing at the back, we can see that we keep a lot of clean sheets. And that's why Xavi have been so impressed. Look at Christensen. Christensen have been showing consistency, unlike Eric Garcia. And we see Christensen being a starter throughout, being the main man now, alongside Araujo at centre-back. And they are keeping a lot of clean sheet because they are so solid. So Eric Garcia, to be honest, it depends because if he continues like this, then Barca won't rule out the possibility of cashing in on him. We quite remember Eric Garcia came in as a free agent last season, or let me say summer before last year, and he came as a free agent from Man City. Honestly, and Barca will try to make make profit out of it because they spend nothing to get him. And also we know that we are going through some financial issues, and selling some players will be of utmost importance. And I think if Eric Garcia's situation continues the way it is doing now, there is that very big possibility that he will be sold. And definitely the player might also fancy such a scenario, knowing fully well that game time isn't coming, and with the kind of competition that he sees in the center back department, he does not see himself having regular time anytime soon under Javi's tutelage. So definitely I think Javi is getting wiser, knowing fully well that Eric Garcia shouldn't be a starter, because when Eric Garcia was playing, even last season when Javi came in as the boss, he was starting Garcia in some games. And honestly speaking, either you see penalties that are being caused at the back by Eric Garcia, red cards and things like that. He's not that interrogating, and I don't think he's at the level of Barca. I think Barca need those world-class defenders. But Eric Garcia, we saw that even at Man City, Pep Guardiola was not even fancying him. And we just run and took him because he's from Man City and under Pep. So, yeah, let's see how it goes for him moving ahead. Then on to the next story of discussion. Abde Azuli has emerged as a rising star in La Liga this season, following his blistering performances on loan at Osasuna with 3 goals and 2 assists. Abde's contributions have indeed been critical to Osasuna's season so far. His performances have not gone unnoticed by his parent club Barcelona either. According to Mundo Deportivo, the Catalans are convinced by Abde's development at Osasuna. They are set to recall the player and make him a part of the club's pre-season preparations when he comes back from his loan spell at Osasuna. Barcelona, though, are yet to make definitive decision on the future of the Moroccan international. The Catalans will make a final decision during the training in the summer. The player's fate at the club will depend on Barca's sporting and economic needs. The Blaugrana, after all, are a way of updates increasing demand in the transfer markets. Clubs from the Premier League and Bundesliga have already sounded out the possibility to sign the young forward who was part of Morocco's World Cup squad. Reports suggest Barcelona could be open to sanctioning the sale of Abde if they are forced to significantly reduce their salary mass. This means the attacker's future at the club may also depend on the fate of other players, considering the fact that Barca might want to get rid of other players before considering the sale of Abde. Nevertheless, a lot depends on how much suitors offer for the services for the 21-year-old, who could be easily worth more than 20 million euros. Not to mention, the player has a release clause worth 200 million in his latest contract that does not expire until 2026. This should give Barca the leverage to hold out for the hefty price for the services of the Moroccan international this summer. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.